This is a series of my life, closing one chapter but opening up another. And my excited is about the unseen. So I'm ready to get this interview done and just have fun.
You ready for the interview?
Oh, my excited is excited. In the studio with Uncle Lamar today. We're getting ready to have a fun, phenomenal conversation.
Yo, listen. My name is Elder LaMar Blakney. Listen, I am so excited. I'm really excited because I'm sitting here with this young man that I've been knowing for at least 27 or 28 years. Because no, 24 years.
You knew me before I was
Yeah,
forming
yeah,
my
yeah. Yeah, 24 years. We go to the same ministry, and man, I'm extremely proud. Listen, my name is Elder LaMar Blakney, and I'm here today with
Dr. Javan Mary Richardson.
yes, and we're gonna have a great conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, uh, it's overdue.
Yeah.
It's overdue, Javan. So man, how do you feel today?
Well, I don't think there's an adjective in the dictionary to describe how I feel because there's so many emotions.
Okay.
In my reflection, I'm just really grateful,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, wow, God, it's really happening.
Yes, yeah.
So I don't know the correct feeling to tell you how I feel, but I can tell you it feels good.
Yes, I bet it do. 26 years old, a doctor.
Yeah.
Man, so what's your degree in?
Higher Education Administration with a focus in student affairs.
That's a smart boy. Y'all heard that? Yeah. So Javen, we're gonna have a real conversation.
Let's do it.
We're gonna walk everybody through all three stages of your life, which meaning the current stage that you're in right now. So I got some questions that I want to ask you.
Okay.
And so Javen, growing up, what was the hardest part for you as a child? Growing up with other siblings, and growing up with your mom, and just the things that made you who you were as a young boy. How did you cope with those times, David?
Well, that's a two-part question, so I'm going to answer the.
Well, you hear that? Y'all hear that doctor in him? That's the doctor.
So to the first question, the biggest thing that I struggled with growing up was growing up without my father in my life. That was a hurt and pain that is hard to explain. Growing up, I would see other children with their father. I would see their father come to different functions and take them different places. And it was me without mine. And I would often ask God, what did I do to deserve this? I would often ask God, why would I be put here on earth without both of my parents being active, if you will? So growing up, I would cry often. I would ask my mom about my father. I would go to sleep crying, asking about my father, because I had two older siblings. I have two older siblings. One has went on to be with the Lord, CJ, and I have an older sister, Emery, and I would see him show up in those arenas.
Okay.
And I would say, what's so different about me? So growing up without my father, that was a pain.
Okay.
That was a sharp pain. And I would often hear people saying that their mother is their mother and father. But I truly believe that a mother can't play two roles.
That's true.
So it was hard for me. Growing up without my father. It was hard for me because the only time I would see my father when it was to discipline me. I wouldn't see him show up to see me in different things in church or different things in school. But if my mom called him to say that I had done something, he would drive hours away just to wake me up in the middle of the night to whoop me and would go right back.
Wow.
And that struck me because, again, it caused me to go into an identity crisis. And a lot of times people won't admit, but you want validation from your parents. parents.
Absolutely.
And being that I was lacking that validation from my father was again a pain that I could not explain. Now, to answer the second part of it, how did I cope with it? Well, I'm so grateful for my grandfather, Bobby Tyson, my poppy.
You hear that, Poppy?
Oh, he
you hit
is
that, Poppy?
the man.
Hey, Poppy, you hit that, Poppy?
He is the man. So him and my Mimi met one Sunday when I was like 3 or 4 years old. Mimi was on the praise team at Truth Tabernacle Ministries with Judah First. And we went to West Sizzling in Rocky Mount after church, and we run into my poppy, Bobby Ray Tyson. And I feel like God strategically ordered our steps, because it was from that moment that he taught me so much. He taught me so much that if he had on a blue suit for church, guess what I was going to have on?
A blue suit.
A blue suit. If he had on Stacey Adams, I was going to have on Stacey Adams. And Poppy always told me, be your authentic self growing up. He never tried to make me like him or any other man, but he supported me in every phase and still does to this day. It was him. Now, let me tell you, he was military style. So if I stayed with Mimi and Poppy, I was getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, not because they woke me up, but because Mimi was in the kitchen cleaning.
Wow.
Or she was in the kitchen cooking. So I would smell the sausage from what you call Smith's Red and White, because we would go down to Dorch's, and that was my cue to get up. And he would tell me, you know, when you get up, you make up your bed. You make it up right. You don't get back in that bed until the end of the day after you've taken your shower.
And that's a powerful lesson.
That was a powerful lesson.
Yes.
That was a powerful lesson. He taught me, as a man, you stand up to use the restroom when you handle your business. So he taught me so much about just becoming a man, not what society defines as a man, but what a godly man truly is. Even in my flaws, even in my mess ups, he told me, it's okay, man, you're going to mess up.
Yeah.
But he's just been that blueprint for me. I'll never forget, even with me opening my first bank account. He was okay with me taking me down there. And he showed me how to take all my bills. And he told me, I'm going to teach you how to get you some credit. And he taught me. So a lot of the man I am today is because of Poppy. Now, I say that to say this. My Poppy could not replace the void of my dad not being in my life. But I believe God had him as a representative to stand up and say, this is your assignment.
Wow. And you know, Javan, we kind of, and I know this is about you, but the Lord is speaking in my spirit right now. Okay. So I'm going to be obedient. Can I be obedient?
Please, go ahead.
My father didn't raise me. And one day, I think me and you were on the phone talking, and I was emotional. I was crying. I said, that man never loved me. And I'm going to tell you what God said to me. He says, he gave you a gift that nobody on this earth can ever give you.
Right.
He gave you a gift that is so powerful and so priceless. Nothing else he can do can compare to that gift. I was like, what is that? He gave you life. That is the best gift.
The best gift.
And then God said this to me. He said, the reason I didn't let your father raise you, because I didn't need another him.
Wow.
He said, I didn't need another him. He said, I needed you to find a Frankenstein father. I grabbed a piece of this man. I grabbed a piece of that man. You've seen the movie Frankenstein, right? I grabbed a piece of that man. I grabbed a piece of that man. And I built my own man. My legs, my arms were pieces of men that inspired me. And most of them was on television. But there was one leg from my cousin Anthony, because he was the first man I ever heard that knew how to talk right. So I say this to you as the young Javan moving into life. It was meant to happen the way it did, because you wouldn't be where you're at, and you wouldn't have had the drive to the perseverance to move like you're moving without having to prove I'm a man and I can do this. And Poppy, great job.
Great job.
So let's get to the next question.
And I still honor my father.
Oh, I know you do.
I still honor him, because God gives us a charge to honor our mother and father.
Yeah.
So I still honor him, and I'm grateful for him. And let me say, I do love my father. However, history cannot be erased, and
That's
I
correct.
recognize that it had to happen.
Yeah.
The way it happened. So God does all things well.
He does. He does. He does. And shout out to your father, because
Yes.
y'all, now I see y'all bond. Now I see y'all taking pictures, getting together, and when a child is separated from the father, just like that one moment when Jesus says, "Why hast thou forsaken me?" He wasn't. I don't believe he talking about God. He was just talking about the situation, right? It. A young boy. Listen, if you're a man out there, a young boy needs his father. Mom, she can do the best job she ever want to do. She can never be mom. So let's get to this one person, man, in your life that look. He's smiling before I even ask him about it, right? This one person in your life. So your Mimi was your anchor, right? What's one lesson or a moment with her that still guides you today?
When I was a little boy, I called Mimi my leading lady. Mimi always told me three things as a little boy, and she still tells me to this very moment, to this very day, before I even speak, before any endeavor. Mimi has always told me to remain humble, obedient, and focused. And that's how I pattern my life off those three things.
Yeah, and that's powerful. I'm gonna adopt those. That's powerful. So Javen. So we talked about you as a child. Now we can go back.
Okay, let's
right?
go back.
Listen, y'all. If y'all don't know Javen, which most of the people who watch this do know Javen, Javen had no fear of shouting.
I shout right now.
Javen could be at a basketball game and his team could be losing.
And I still praise.
And he'd be over there in the corner, got somebody shouting. So Javen, tell me about, as a little boy, what did God mean to you? Because he had to mean something to you. Because I saw you with your suits on, and he was over there in the corner, everybody watching little Javen, and you were going for it. Whether you knew what you were doing or not, you were going for it. What? How did God inspire you in that part of your life?
When I was a little boy, Poppy was in the hospital, and Mimi came to stay with me and my mom and my siblings while he was in the hospital. And in the middle of the night, it was like God snatched me by my shirt. I had an encounter with God.
Wow.
And he told me I was a star, and he had me in the palm of his hand. And I knew then that prayer and praise was the key to how I would navigate life.
Wow. Wow.
So praise was my navigation. It was my GPS system.
Okay. Now you said Mimi was your leading lady.
Yes.
But you had another leading lady in your life.
Yes.
What was her name?
Mother Mary Elizabeth Taylor-Richardson. Miss Blessed and Highly Favored of the Lord.
Oh my God. I miss her, man.
I miss her too. I miss her too.
How first of all, how did you meet her?
Well, actually, we were neighbors.
Okay.
In Aqua Court. And she loved my mom. Oh my God. She loved my mom. Fell in love with my mom first.
Got you.
And we were neighbors. And Mimi would sing on the praise team at Truth Tabernacle. Ironically, Mother Mary went to Truth Tabernacle as well. So before our relationship started at Truth, Mother Mary, being we were neighbors, my godmother, she would take me to school, and she would have me a snack every day. She picked me up. I either had Chips Ahoy or Oreos, and I always had the little Jamba Juice. You remember those cartons Jamba Juice? And she would have that for me every day. And she told my mom that God had called me to be her spiritual son. And that's when we navigated Truth Tabernacle. So it was a natural connection that turned spiritual. So then she would pick me up for church, because Mimi would have to be at church at 8 o'clock. You remember we used to have service at 8 o'clock?
I remember.
And 10:30. So she would pick me up, and I would come to church with her and sit on the second row. Bishop Parker said I could sit with the mothers. I was the only one.
Yes,
on the second row on the right, that was the mother's row. And she just taught me so much, man. She taught me to be quiet.
I know she did.
Yeah, she taught me to be quiet. She would tap me, hit me with her cane sometimes, but she was a great woman. I wouldn't be the man I am today without the sacrifices of Mother Mary Elizabeth Richardson. And I never ever shared this openly, but my godmother was on a fixed income, and anything I ever needed, she always made sure I had.
That's powerful.
Always. That's so powerful. I will always be grateful that if she gave her last, I did not know. And I told her when I was a little boy, I said, as soon as I get a job, I'm going to always give back to you.
Wow.
And when I got a job at Burger King, she reminded me of what I said. So every time I got paid and I would come down on the weekend, she would have her hand ready. Miss Blessed and Highly Favored.
Yes.
She was a powerful lady.
Got you. So Javan, if you had to go back to that little 5-year-old boy, because I think that's when I met you, around about 5. If you can look him in the face, if you can give him some advice, because you had other siblings, and because you were the oldest, sometimes they gave you a responsibility, right?
Leadership started in the home for me.
Gave you a responsibility. So before you answer that question, let's talk about that. How did you being there for your brothers and sisters at a young age, how did that shape you into the person you are today?
That's greater than any degree I could ever have. They are my official credentials.
Wow.
They were my trial and error. Leadership started at home.
Yeah.
Not with a degree, not with being a manager or anything. Jewel, Jordan, Sean, Journey, and even my youngest brother, Jakari. Oh my God, they all had different personalities. And they really motivated me to be a leader, because I was just like, whoa. I felt like I was raising those kids. And I just took away something different from each one of them, because they would push me to my greater. And they would show me things about myself, and then I would get them in lines and things like that. And trust me, they would tell you I had a mouth of fire but a heart of gold. I would say, get up, sing your part right. I would make a choir or something like that, or you're gonna do this. But at the end of the day, when they did it, I would say, I knew you could do it.
Yeah.
So, growing up in a household with them, I didn't always like the circumstances, but I realized that no experience was wasted. So that's what I would tell the younger person.
Okay.
That no experience was wasted. It was all necessary. And the last thing I would say is, I'm proud of you.
Wow.
Job well done.
Now, you see how God put you in a place to learn leadership skills at 5 years old.
At 5, yeah.
That's now carried over into your adult age.
Right.
And now it's easy for you. So what's hard, what was difficult for another person who didn't go through what you went through, they wouldn't be as organized or as professional as you are, because you start parenting, and no offense, that's a form of parenting. Whenever, like my little brother, he doesn't always say, you my daddy, you like my daddy, because you become like a parent. Hey, no, don't sit down, don't do this, no, mama gone, I'm in charge.
Yeah.
So you kind of learn that. So that was a great lesson for you.
It was. It's amazing how God orchestrates destiny. And I will often ask my mom, even in my adulthood, I'd ask my mom, I said, Mom, why were you so hard on me like that growing up? And my mom would tell you, because I knew you had something different in you.
Wow.
So a lot of times we try to take a elevator success, but you have to take the stairs. It's no shortcuts.
Y'all heard that, boy.
So my mom was, in reality, my biggest fan, because of what I call hard, God made easy.
Man, that's powerful. That's powerful.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about spiritual influences, right? You a son of many churches.
Right.
You a nephew of many uncles. You are a brother to many brothers. Javan, you don't know a stranger. Javan, listen, y'all, Javan Richardson do not know what a stranger is. Nobody's a stranger to you. You've always had that love. Like, you adopted me as an uncle, if I'd adopt you as a nephew.
You took me to get my first car.
We're going to get to that.
Okay.
We're going to get to that. So, Javan, spiritual influences. Let's walk through the timeline. Who are your first spiritual influencers?
Great question. Well, I would say I grew up under the tutelage of Bishop Haywood Parker, the co-pastor Wanda Frazier Parker of Truth Tabernacle Ministries.
Okay.
And that is where my foundation in ministry was started. That's where I experienced God. That's where I was saved. I'll never forget Pastor Victoria Richardson.
Ken and Rich. Yeah, Ken and Victoria.
They were my youth pastors, but on a specific Sunday, I wanted to give my life to the Lord and be saved. And Pastor Victoria is the one that led me to the Lord.
Wow.
And so I would say my foundation was birthed at True Tabernacle. It was built on the word birth through prayer, where I was called to excellence. Spent many, 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 many years there. Now, we talk about spiritual mentors. I would say Apostle Derek Kelly.
Okay.
Apostle Derek Kelly of New Faith in Lexington, North Carolina.
Okay. Is that where, once you went to school, you kind of met this person, or was it in high school?
Well, when I went off to college.
College, okay.
My watch care pastors, I went to a Baptist church, so imagine me going from Pentecostal to Baptist. And well, my watch care pastors there were Pastor Robert Tillman, Dr. Robert Tillman, and Elder Lakeisha Tillman.
Okay.
And they're under Apostle Kelly. Now, a Baptist church under an apostolic covering.
That's different.
It's different. The way we connected was so ironic.
Okay.
He was trying to get in contact with Bishop Parker. Bishop Parker had a scheduling conflict. And he reached out to me. He said, I see you post Bishop Parker all the time and things like that. He said, I was unable to get him, but I wanted to know, would you come to the church? And I was like, wow, to go in the steps of Bishop Parker, my spiritual father, and go in representation of him. Did not know that was going to catapult a relationship.
Wow.
So, Apostle Kelly, that has been a big spiritual mentor to me spiritually, has given me words of rebuke, if you will, enlightened my thought process. So I would say Apostle Derek Kelly, still to this day, he's still very much active, and he cares about me being holistically healthy. Okay. So I celebrate Apostle Kelly.
Now I'm gonna throw a curveball, okay?
Throw it.
Because I felt like I needed to throw. I felt like I needed to throw the doctor a curveball, y'all. So, Javan, you was labeled as the underdog.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people, I believe, misunderstood your enthusiasm, your excitement, your wanting to be around them as being groany.
Okay.
Right? Because we heard that before, right?
A plethora of times.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. How were you, first of all, twofold question, misunderstood and considered the underdog?
Wow. That's a loaded question.
Oh, yeah. Like a loaded potato.
Yeah, but I lived it. So, wow.
Is that a curveball?
That's a curveball.
Yes, sir. I knew I was throwing it.
But I'm going to hit it.
Okay, let's hit it.
So, a lot of people took me being genuine as me being worse or annoying.
Okay.
When I was just loving from an easy place. And it could have been that maybe I was looking for love from outsiders, what I wasn't getting in-house.
That's deep.
So what they took as worsen was really a cry for help. And that turned into, I don't want to be bothered.
Wow.
And so for majority of my life growing up, I would watch different leaders or different people that I look up to pour into other people. And for me, again, see, when that validation from one of your parents are not there,
Yeah.
it goes back to the root of what really hurt you. So it would take me back to a place of rejection.
Yeah.
So again, what they misunderstood as what they missignaled
Mm-hmm.
um, was really a cry out and wanted to be connected and embraced. Now, the Bible says, "First shall be last,
And the last shall be first."
and last shall be first." So you have to be careful how you count out people, because
Yeah.
things are always subject to change.
That's right.
And I'm just so grateful to God that I didn't get that one-on-one mentor or things like that, because nobody can get the credit in my life but God. And I realized that all things, man, that was my favorite scripture still to this day, work together for the good of those who love the Lord and have been called according to his purpose, which says to me, my afflictions work for my good. Being counted out work for my good. Because God, what did you save me from? From not being connected. Right. So it's amazing when you gotta watch your destiny from a distance and you can't even touch it. The person you tried to count out could have been the person that could have helped you cross the bridge to cross over. So we have to be careful in life as we label people or perceptions, because feelings are not always facts. And the people that you are there for and that you mentor and that you put out there, sometimes they might not have nothing to show for it.
That's right.
And the very one, the very one that you said no to, God will raise up. And not only does he raise you up, he will prepare a table for you right in front of them. Not to be arrogant, not to be cocky, but to boast in God.
That's right.
So
it's to humble yourself under the mighty hand of God, and then he will exalt you.
He will exalt you.
And you're being exalted now.
And I'm praying that I stay in his will.
Amen.
And that I stay in his way. That's a prayer every
day.
day.
So let's talk about, I know there was a situation where now you're a senior. You're a senior in school. I don't forget nothing.
Okay.
You're a senior in school. Your mom moves away, and now you have to make a decision. So let's talk about that high school journey that most kids might have dropped out of school, right? Because they didn't know what they were going to do.
Right.
And then you met an amazing family.
Right.
Let's talk about that.
Wow. High school journey. High school journey was a lot of pivots.
Just a little bit off of it.
High school journey was a lot of pivots. I started out in early college, and I actually forged my mom's name on the application.
He going to jail, y'all. Jay been going to jail. He just committed to a crime. That's a felony.
I told my mom that I was going to go to early college, and at that time she was not in agreement with it at all. I said, "Mom, I'm going to early college. I'm going to finish early college with at the time, you got to look at it. You were finished with a high school degree, a high school diploma, and an associate's degree for free through Nash Community." And my mom wasn't so much in agreement, but I was a little defiant. So I still got the paperwork. I found it online. I printed the paperwork. And the school then started at 10 o'clock if you went to early college. And you,
and you had to get there on your own.
You had to get there on your own if you weren't in the zone for the bus.
Yeah.
So I get the application and I fill it out because I was very determined that I was going to do what I needed to do for my life. So I got the application, filled it out. About a week later, Mama is livid. Come here right now. If you know my mama, you know when she hit that high soprano. She said, "So you applied anyway, didn't you?" I said, "Yup." She said, "Who signed this paperwork?" I said, "Me." So that was my beginning of my high school journey.
I got you.
Life hit. And I moved with my father.
Okay.
A month before my 9th grade year ended at early college.
How was that experience?
Traumatic. It was not good at all.
Wow.
And so I moved from North Carolina to Virginia. in a different culture, a different curriculum, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is different.
The education system is totally different.
Education is very different. So where I was advanced in North Carolina,
mm-hmm.
I was behind there.
Wow.
I get there, I didn't do good at all finishing that 9th grade school year.
Okay.
Terrible.
Wow.
Terrible. Got a D in math. Terrible. Just terrible. Listen, because a lot of people only share their success.
Yeah.
I failed. Terrible. I had to refocus my focus.
Yeah.
Terrible. So, with that being said, I go from early college in North Carolina to Virginia. Well, life hits again.
Mm-hmm.
And I get sent back with my mom the middle of 10th grade year.
Wow.
I'll never forget, it was Thanksgiving break.
Mm-hmm.
And I came with my mom down for Thanksgiving break.
Mm-hmm.
Went back to Virginia for one day and came back literally the next day. Was still behind in Virginia. Came back. By that time we were in Wake County. Came back to North Carolina and was advanced. So where I failed in Virginia, when I came back here, the process sped up.
Wow.
Then I meet a family, the Lessane family. I meet their kids in high school.
Mm-hmm.
In gospel choir. I go in there shouting, laying hands, Mr. Runzel Bell telling me, sit down, Spirit, just sit down. Shout out to Mr. Runzel Bell. Everybody know him jamming for Jesus in Rocky Mount, Morning Star. So I meet the kids there.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom allows me to cultivate a relationship with them. So I would go over their house all the time. Bible study, you name
Mm-hmm.
it. And my mom ended up moving to Georgia. And my mom asked me did I want to go. She just didn't up and leave.
I got you.
I just didn't want to switch high schools again. I'm like, I didn't switch high schools enough. And my mom asked me, we're getting ready to pivot. We want to branch out into our greater.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, Mom, if you will allow me, I don't want to go. So the relationship that was started with those kids in high school,
mm-hmm.
spending summer nights with them and all of that, their parents let me move in with them after their kids had moved off to college. Here I am.
So the kids are gone.
The kids are gone. By the
and
time
you're there.
And I'm there by myself. After they just emptied their nest.
Wow.
And
see how God works.
God works. He orders our steps. That's why I say no experience is wasted. So the kids, Branda, Casey, and Devin, them embracing me. I didn't even have a car then. And look, my mama told me, okay, now you back here. You're going to get focused. You're going to get back in school and da. I go and get a job at Burger King. My mom would tell you I have probably always went against the grain.
Yeah.
But that's what led to my relationship with the Lesanes, and that's what opened the door.
Okay.
For me to branch out with the Lesanes, and we're still friends to this day.
Okay. All right. So let's now, we won't leave any stone unturned, mm-hmm. although we on time. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about college. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the ups and downs mm-hmm. in college. And now, you lead me how far you want to go into it, because we had a conversation about certain things you just want to really get into right now. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about Aggie pride. Look at that boy face. See his face pop up. Aggie. He got more college blood in his veins now since he done been to other colleges. But so tell me, how was your journey as a young man living on his own? Mm-hmm. No, first of all, let's go back to the car.
Oh, man. Rock.
So I get a phone call, y'all. Javan was like, Uncle Lamar.
9th grade. That's my freshman summer at A&T.
Yeah, he said, I want to get a car. Will you help me? I said, yeah, Javan, I'll help you. You like, you ain't going to let me down now, are you?
Right. I was saying, well, you going to give me some money?
I said, Javan, listen, find a car. I'll help you. So one day I get a call from this crazy guy right here. He was like, Uncle Lamar, I found a car for $1,000. He was like, will you go with me? So I said, okay, I'll go with him. Ironically, he picked a very good car. Soon as the man opened up the hood, I looked inside, and none of the original parts was on this vehicle. I can tell that the water pump had been changed, the gas had been changed, and I didn't even know at this time that the man was a mechanic.
Right.
And I said, Javen, I said, this is a good car. I said, because everything that was supposed to be replaced was replaced, and that's when the man said, yeah, because I'm a mechanic. I said, Javen, this is a good car. Now, Javen just got his driver's license, y'all. So I get a phone call. Hey, Uncle Lamar, what you doing? No, I said, where you at? Man, I'm on my way to Virginia. I said, Javen, you just got your license. He said, this boy said he was on his way to VA. I was scared to death. I said, this boy just got it. And he was so happy. He had no fear. If he did, he didn't show it. He was just happy on that phone. Javen drove that car like it was a 2025. He didn't care that it was a used car, and he wasn't afraid of it breaking down because Uncle Lamar said it's a good car, and it never broke down on you, did it?
Never. Well, very towards the final stage, I pulled in my neighborhood, getting off work, and it shut down.
And he took you home?
It took me home, and then it said, "Bada, done." Yeah.
Oh, wow. So I'm glad I was a part of that journey, man, to go with you to pick out that car. And he had his own money, y'all. He had his own money. I'm sitting there like, this boy going to ask me for $200. I know he going to ask me for something.
Yeah, because I knew he had it.
So now you're in college. You have your independence in a way you've never had it before, right? You got to make adult decisions. And now you decide, hey, I'm going for criminal justice, right? You wanted to be a forensic.
I wanted to be a forensic
scientist. And I remember that. And then you called me and said, man, I'm changing my major, man. What did you change it to?
Education.
Yeah.
When I went for my master's.
So, sum it up. How was your college experience?
My college experience was phenomenal. I always told my mom when I was a little boy I was going to go to A&T.
Okay.
I applied, got in instantly. The favor of God. It wasn't hard. I have to be honest with you. A&T was not hard. So many great things happened. So many things were birthed when I was at A&T. I'll never forget, because the money that I was able to purchase, the money that I had to purchase the car was from a seed that my mom sowed into me.
Okay.
So my mom had her own business. Now, I have to acknowledge my mom in this piece. I'm going to get in that gateway. My mom has always pushed me to do things that I'm just like, why are you asking me to do this? And she saw the end in sight. So my mom asked me to create a flyer for her. Didn't know where to start. This was my 9th grade year. My freshman year at A&T. And she shared that one flyer that I created, Microsoft Word then, with her business. I had 300 clients in a matter of 2 weeks.
Wow.
I was doing flyers for $10, replacing pictures, replacing name and email, $10. Then I would start running specials 4 for $50. So I would like to say that A&T experience birthed an entrepreneurial spirit for me.
Wow.
That my mom said, I see this and I want you to tap into this. So that first car that I purchased was because of the graphics.
Wow.
That I did. And that was remarkable. Javan Graphic Designs was birthed. Then I eventually changed it to Remarkable Graphics because I wanted to take my name out of it.
I got you.
So it later changed to Remarkable Graphic Designs, and I got more availability on my time. I said, so I can do another job. My professor told me, FedEx have some openings at the airline. I said, okay. He said, I think you might want to do. I send a lot of students there. I said, well, when is it? He said, Monday through Thursday. I said, well, what time? He says, it would be 11 p.m. at night, the 4 in the morning. I said, oh, no. Anybody know me? No, I crash out.
Yeah, he goes sleep like an old person.
Early. And so I end up working at FedEx Airlines. You know, Kiva end up coming,
Mm-hmm.
and some more people end up coming to FedEx Airlines. So I really just spread my wings in when I
Okay.
was flying. When
Gotcha.
I was like literally sewing for my college experience, and I have to say it was amazing. A&T was amazing.
Okay. Wonderful. So I got to ask you a question, Javen. Looking back across your journey, right? From the underdog child to the resilient teenager who signed his mama's name to get to early college, right? To accomplish a master's degree
Mm-hmm.
and then a doctoral degree.
Mm-hmm.
And basically to be able to get into the program and have so many credits because you were smart enough to know if I take these classes in my master's program,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to give me credit in my doctoral program,
Mm-hmm.
which has now accelerated you
Mm-hmm.
to get it sooner than most people would.
Mm-hmm.
Was that strategic or that was luck?
That was God. That was not luck at all. I feel like the pain that I went through pushed me to the purpose.
Okay.
So I would even say I graduated high school. You remember I told you I failed when I went to Virginia, but I
Mm-hmm.
ended up graduating high school a year early. I ended up graduating from A&T a year early. I ended up graduating with my master's a year early, and I finished my doctoral program a year and 1 month. That program was scheduled
Wow.
to be 3 to 4 years. But I would just say, man, that's just God favor on my
Yeah.
life. I don't know how to say it other than God puts the super on my natural because He
Mm-hmm.
didn't do the work for me,
Mm-hmm.
but He opened the gateway. And I would say again, God put the super on my natural,
Mm-hmm.
and He made it work.
And this is what I believe. This is me talking, right? Because of your name, he's going to always be with you.
Wow, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was predestined.
Yeah, he's going to always be with you. And Javen, I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm super proud of you.
Thank you so
My
much, sir.
family's proud of you. We talk a lot, and I there was a point where my conversation had to change with you. I'm like, oh, this boy getting too smart. I can't talk to him like I used to talk to him because now he's asking me these probing questions that the young guy didn't know how to ask. So I was like, okay, I got to change up how I talk to Javen. And man, I've seen your growth. I've seen where you go. I see where you're going. I see where you come from, and I just want you to know, all of your life experiences was your education. It was God training you.
Wow.
It was God birthing you, forming you to be Dr. Javan Richardson. And I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you so much.
So this has been a great interview, man.
It's been a phenomenal time.
And listen, and I know he can't thank everybody because there's a lot of people. There's so many people who has been instrumental in your life, and I know you can't think of everybody. But listen, if you can think of some more people you didn't mention, because hey, this is part of your story. This is your history.
Mm-hmm.
It is your story, but it's your history.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you want to thank?
My Mimi and Poppy never had any boys.
Wow.
So I would like to thank Calvin Lamont Yellorday.
Wow.
He was my uncle that stepped in.
Wow.
And I met him through my mom. He was at the shop with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And he took me in, and he was there for me and supported me in everything until he passed.
Wow.
A month ago.
Wow.
So I would really like to thank him for saying to me, look, you need to grow up. You need to carry yourself in this way.
Mm-hmm.
And he will also tell me, look, you about to have doctor in front of your name. So I'm so glad that he got to witness a lot of this before
That's
the
good.
transition.
Well, listen, man. I'm so proud that I'm the first person to interview Dr.
Oh, this is a historic time, right?
Emmanuel.
How excited is excited?
Richardson. Listen, y'all. I hope this story is inspiring you because it's inspired me. And so, Javen, what do you want to say to close us out?
I would like to say to that person that has that dream to go back to school or something in your mind that you set out that you wanted to do. It's never too late. Do not let your age detour you or anything. Go back, get up, and do it again.
Listen, you heard it from Dr.
Execute.
Hey, that's what he used to say all the time.
Execute.
So y'all heard it from Dr. Javan Emmanuel Richardson. And listen, Grace and peace.
Grace and peace.